If you're moving to New York City and picking a neighborhood based on how close it looks to a subway line on a map, stop right there. That's the mistake that turns a 20-minute commute into 50 minutes of your life every single day for years. I'm Joshua Fassu, a real estate agent here in New York City, and I help people relocating from out of state find neighborhoods that actually fit how they live and work, not just how they look on Zillow. In this video, I'm breaking down the best New York City neighborhoods for commuters from Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and even New Jersey workers, and the things nobody tells you about New York City commuting until you're already living in it. By the end, you'll know exactly how to pick a neighborhood based on your actual commute, not a subway map that's lying to you. Before we get into it, if you're seriously considering a move to New York City, or you're already here and thinking about buying, selling, or relocating to a different neighborhood, I'd genuinely love to help. Every week, I talk to people in exactly this situation, relocating for a job, moving closer to family, or just starting a new chapter in New York City. And I help them figure out which neighborhoods actually make sense for their commute, their budget, and their lifestyle before they even step foot in an apartment or open house. If that's you, reach out to that contact information in the description below. No pressure, no obligation, just a real conversation about your move. Okay, let's get into the neighborhoods. Here's a misconception that trips up almost every relocation buyer. People assume that close to a subway stop automatically means short commute. It doesn't. What actually determines your commute time is whether that line runs express or local near you, whether it's a one-seat ride to your job or you're transferring, how far the walk to the station actually is, not driving distance, walking distance, what the train looks like during rush hour, not at 11 a.m. on a Sunday when you tour the apartment. Two apartments can be 0.3 miles from the subway and have a 25-minute difference in a real commute time. That's why we always test the actual ride before you sign anything. More on that in a minute. I like to break New York City commutes into 3 rough tiers, especially for people who work in Midtown or Lower Manhattan, which is where most relocation buyers I work with are headed. This is neighborhoods like Long Island City in Queens, or the Financial District and Battery Park City if you're working downtown. You're paying a premium for this, but for some people, that time back in their day is worth every dollar. This is a sweet spot for a lot of relocation buyers. Astoria, parts of Park Slope, Prospect Heights, and Hoboken or Jersey City if you're commuting via PATH, train, all fall here. You get more space and better value with a commute that's still very livable. This is where you start seeing real savings. Neighborhoods like Forest Hills, Ridgewood, or further out in Brooklyn like Dimmons Park. Totally doable, but it's a real daily commitment. And it matters a lot whether you're the type of person who can work or read on a train, or whether that time feels like dead time to you. 1 or 2 stops away to Midtown on the 7 or E and M trains, plus the New York City ferry, which a lot of newcomers don't even know exists. Newer buildings, waterfront views, and generally one of the fastest commutes into Manhattan from outside Manhattan. Slightly further out, more character, and more affordable than Long Island City, and still a very manageable commute on the N and W trains. Great for people who want a neighborhood feel without sacrificing too much commute time. Multiple train lines. The 2, 3, 4, 5, B, and Q trains, which means redundancy. If one line has an issue, you will likely have a backup a few blocks away. That redundancy matters more than people realize. For people relocating for jobs that are flexible on the Hudson River side, the PATH train is a hidden gem. It's often faster and less crowded than people expect, and you get significantly more space for your money. Great for people who want to stay in Manhattan, but need more affordability than Midtown or downtown. Multiple express lines make the commute downtown faster than you think based on the distance on a map. A longer ride, but it's a one-seat trip on an E or F train, which makes the time predictable, if not short. Good for people prioritizing space and a quieter, more residential feel. This is the part most YouTube videos and blog posts skip entirely. 1. Weekend and overnight service changes are constant. The train that gets you to work in 20 minutes on a Tuesday might be rerouted on a Saturday. If you regularly travel on weekends, check the actual MTA service change patterns for the line you're relying on, not just weekday performance. 2. Walk time to the station matters more than map distance. A 10-minute walk on a flat, well-lit block feels completely different from a 10-minute walk uphill in the winter. Always walk the actual route, not just a straight line on Google Maps. 3. Congestion pricing has changed the math for drivers. If your plan was to drive into Manhattan, the cost and traffic calculus below 60th Street has shifted. It's worth understanding current tolling before you assume driving is the backup plan. 4th, the New York City ferry is underused and often faster than people expect, especially from waterfront neighborhoods in Queens and Brooklyn. It's one of the best kept secrets for a scenic, uncrowded commute. 5. Transit deserts exist even in popular neighborhoods. Some pockets that look great on map are actually a 15 to 20 minute walk or a bus transfer away from the nearest train. Always check the specific block, not just a neighborhood name. Here's what I recommend to every relocation client. Number 1, do a dry run at the actual time you'd be commuting, not midday, not on a Sunday. Number 2, check the MTA's current service alerts for that specific line. Number 3, time the walk from the door of the apartment to the platform, not just to the corner. Number 4, if a ferry or PATH train is part of the plan, write it once before you commit. 5 extra minutes of research now can save you hundreds of hours a year. Is it better to be near an express or local stop? Express stops save time on longer commutes, but they're often more crowded and competitive to live near. For shorter commutes, local stops are often just as good and quieter. Should I prioritize commute time over space and price? This is personal, but I always tell clients, know your number. If you're not willing to commute more than 30 minutes, don't tour apartments that push past that, no matter how good the price looks. Is driving ever worth it in New York City? For most Manhattan-bound commuters, no. Between parking costs, tolls, and traffic, it rarely beats transit. It's more often worth it for certain out-of-borough to out-of-borough commutes. If you're relocating to New York and trying to figure out which neighborhood actually fits your life, not just your budget, but your commute, your lifestyle, and your future plans, reach out using the info in the description. I work with people moving here every week, and I'd love to help you get it right the first time. And if you found this helpful, there's a lot more here on the channel about relocating to and living in New York City. Neighborhood comparisons, cost of living breakdowns, and answers to the questions people ask before they move in. Go check those out.